Hey everybody, this is Chris at Reptiles. Thank you for joining me once again. How's it going? You guys all staying safe? Anyways, I had a question yesterday from somebody that asked me, they have a normal ball python and what would they breed it with? And it just inspired me in my mind thinking about all the potential of just breeding, even a normal with another snake. I mean, I was like, I told him I can't answer this for you because there's too many options. There's too many genes and traits to work with, and it depends on what you want. Depends on what you like and what you're going for. So I said, honestly, I can't answer this question, and it inspired me to make this video. Anyways, guys, if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell. What that notification bell does for you is keeps you in the loop of all my upcoming videos, so you'll get a notification and say, hey, I got a new video out. Also, if you guys get anything from these videos, it will help me out if you guys subscribe or hit that like button. It just helps me with my YouTube endeavors. So let's get started. First of all, ball pythons, I think it is the perfect pet. It's amazing. I want you guys to get this in your head that there's so much potential with this snake. I mean, honestly, there are lots of pets out there that are amazing and that are awesome, but the ball pythons for some reason are almost like they were divinely made, or just they're just perfect to be a hobby, to make a business, to be a pet. And I'm gonna go down and break down why I believe that and why I think that. First of all, let's go with the color schemes. There are so many color schemes with the ball python. Say if I breed dogs, everybody knows that you watch my videos. I have a Doberman. Her name is Dax. Her name is Jedzia Dax. My family is Star Trek nerds. I like Star Trek, but not as much as my family does, and especially my son. And they named her Jedzia Dax from Deep Space Nine. I call her Dax. She's a red and rust Doberman. If I bred her with a black and rust Doberman, I'm either gonna get black and rust puppies or red and rust puppies. So there's only so many options with that Doberman that I'm gonna get the color schemes. I think there's only like 4 or 5 colors that are actually Dobermans have. I'm not a Doberman expert, but I've watched videos about them. And I think only 2 or 3 are actually noticed by the AKC. That being said, ball pythons have so many different color traits or genes, whatever you want to call them. I do know that some of them are different, but slightly different. Some place like England named them different, or some place like Canada named them different, even though they do have a slight variance, but they're very similar, like the butter. But there are so much more genes to work with. Even look at the leopard gecko and the boa constrictors and the crested geckos, western hognose. They don't even come close. Here's a list of all different traits and genes. As you can see, there's no one close to the potential of the ball python. So that means, like, if I'm breeding them and you're breeding them and Justin Gaboka's breeding them and Miguel's breeding them and Brian's breeding them, there are so many different things you can do with these. I mean, honestly, God, hundreds and thousands of people can breed these things and never reach the potential that these snakes have to offer. I could start from the age 15, which I didn't, and until the day I die, and I couldn't discover all the potential these snakes have. They're perfectly made to be a hobby or a pet. It's crazy that they have so much potential and so much you can do with these things. And I'm hoping I'm getting you guys excited about this, because if you think about that, it just hit in my head, and wow, there is so much potential in these snakes. It's just crazy. I mean, I love the western hognose. It's probably my second favorite snake to breed. I love it. I think it's a beautiful snake, and there is more morphs and different genes coming out, but they're not even a tenth of what you can do with a ball python. Another thing about the ball python is it's the perfect size. You get a feel of having a decent sized snake, but without feeling menacing or it's hard to control. I've never felt uncomfortable holding a ball python by myself. I never will. I mean, I've held retics before, And you know what, I didn't feel scared, but I could see where someone could be scared holding a retic, especially a big gigantic retic. I've never held no 20-footer before, but I've held, you know, 8, 9, 10 feet retics before. And it doesn't scare me, but I can understand how that's menacing. And also, you know, the caging requirements and someone having that as a pet is not even close to being easy as a ball python. The Western hognose female is a decent sized snake. It feels like you can hold it. The only issue with the Western hognose is they don't constrict, so they feel like they can fall off at all times, so you gotta watch them a little bit. The corn snake, again, is a great size, little skinny, but they're kind of, they move around a lot. So I do have a couple that are calmer, but you're kind of doing this more, like where it's running through your hands, where a ball python, you just sits there and relax. My daughter wears them like bracelets all day, so they're just great that way. Boa constrictors. Now the dwarf boas are a decent size, and some of them are laid back. And I think there's some great boa constrictors that make great pets, like the Dumerose boa is a great one. But again, they can get to the size where some people might think they're menacing. But they are great for holding, but again, a little too big. But like some of the dwarf boas are decent size. So there is other animals that are great for holding. I'm not gonna put leopard geckos and crested geckos in this because they are kind of tiny and they can be crushed and hurt pretty easy by smaller hands or by younger kids. Where ball pythons, I feel pretty comfortable letting younger kids hold them and any age holding them. Next, we're talking about caging requirements. Ball pythons, again, are perfect for this. And the reason is because requirements are very low what they need in life. I know people say, well, they like to go out and hunt. Well, that's true. But if you give them a nice cave, which is technically a bin or a rack or even a little aquarium or something, but I prefer racking systems, or I prefer tubs myself because of the humidity. But I know people that keep them successfully in tanks. But the thing is they only come out mostly because they're looking for food. They like a place to feel secure, to hide, and they keep the humidity and that heat they need. They have very low requirements. I can have 250 snakes in my garage and take care of them very easily. Could you imagine having 200 cats or 200 dogs? I mean, I can't imagine having 6 or 8 dogs. So again, their caging requirements really easy. Now there is other ones too, like the Western hognose that do very well in racking systems, and I can keep lots of them. But again, they're a little more active, and I give them a little bit bigger tub than I would a ball python, because ball pythons like to feel secure and safe. I know people don't think this is mean, but I do sometimes I have to put my ball pythons back in a smaller tub to make them eat better, because they like that feeling of being secure. And I know it's controversial, but ball pythons like the feel of being in a small area, and they do feed better, and they do just better, period. There is, I know people that use racking systems for leopard geckos, and they use a certain kind of racking systems for crested geckos. I've seen people use taller ones for crested geckos. But ball pythons are amazing that I can have 250 in my garage, which I don't right now, but you know, someday I probably will. And I have probably about 80 right now downstairs in my room. And they don't take hardly any room in my racking systems. So again, they're made perfectly for this hobby. But I know people that keep corn snakes, Western hognose, leopard geckos successfully in racking systems. So again, those are good options too. So my number one choice of the hobby, of starting a hobby, of making a business, is ball pythons. But there is some second options that I think are great. I think the Western hognose, when I first started out, I almost went to breeding Western hognose over ball pythons because I liked them a lot. But I did essentially go with the ball pythons because of the opportunities and the how diverse they are. But the Western hognose, the leopard gecko, the crested gecko, and corn snakes are my second best choice. And you guys think, well, wait a minute, why didn't you put like the boa constrictor, or why didn't you use the bearded dragon or blood pythons? The reason why I don't put blood pythons on there, blood pythons are, their humidity requirements are a little bit higher, and also they can get a little bit bigger for some people. Boa constrictors, their cage requirements are different. I know people that keep them in racking systems, but I personally wouldn't. I would keep them in a, they like to climb and explore. I would keep them in more like a big cage. That's what I do with mine, and they like to explore. Same with carpet pythons. They like to come out and explore and move around, and they're semi-arboreal. Bearded dragons, they're always known as one of the best pets. They make great pets. They're a wonderful animal. My problem with bearded dragons, I bred them for years. If you guys know anything about my backstory, my first pet I was really into was the bearded dragon. I bred them for years. But the pet stores and all them don't talk about their UVB requirements. They have high UVB requirements, and they give you this little tiny bulb and say that's good enough. And I've seen so many in my life bearded dragons with metabolic bone disease. That's why I don't recommend them, because they need good lighting, and you gotta make sure you stay on top of that lighting and make sure that they're healthy. You definitely gotta supplement with the calcium and keep them out lighting. That's the reason why I don't have them on my second list. So guys, I just want you guys to wrap your head around this. The opportunity with these ball pythons. Either if you want to keep them as a pet, you want to start a hobby, or you want to do it for a business. Their potential is just astronomical. There's so much you can do with them. Like I said, I could spend my life breeding them and still not even touch the outer rim of potential of these things. So don't think that Justin Kabok and all these guys have cornered the market. There's so much you can do. There's a lot. They only use so many genes. There's only so many genes you can use, or traits you can use, because you only have so much room. Even if I had 1,000 snakes, it'd be hard for me to actually tap the potential of these snakes. So don't think that this is going to be a dying market. There's not enough room for you. I mean, I think everybody here could breed, and there'd be enough snakes for everybody, and enough stuff to do. Anyways, guys, I hope this motivates you to want to breed ball pythons, to this is a hobby. Also, to keep ball pythons, they were amazing, and you can see that I'm totally sold out. But I just want you guys to wrap your head around all the potential that's left with these snakes. Anyways, guys, just a quick reminder. I do have a friend. He's been watching my videos. He's pretty new to YouTube, and I've been watching his videos, vice versa. Blue Line Reptiles. He just tested positive for Corona. He lives in New York. So just remember to stay home, stay safe. Think about your fellow man. The reason why we're doing this is because it's not for people that are healthy. It's for people that are have a compromised immune system, or the elderly. And I mean, I've just seen people get sick too and die from this. And I've had lots of friends that got on, and actually had a couple friends that were on ventilators that they did get better, but they still have, one of them had to be trached, and he has to have his lungs heal for a while before he can actually be untrached. So this stuff is pretty serious, and I just want you guys to stay safe and think about everybody else. Anyways, guys, if you wouldn't mind checking out some other videos, also subscribing, it really helps me out. Love you guys. Later. Be good. Be safe. Love you.